Thank you for your interest in Georgia's Section 319H Non-Point Source Implementation Grant. This video will walk you through the steps to use the Grant Administration Portal to submit your application online. If you're a returning user from federal fiscal years 2022 or later, you can simply enter your email address and your password to log in. If you've forgotten your password, use the recovery option here. If you are new to the system, simply click Sign Up to get started. You need an email address, and a password. And click Sign Up. As it states on the screen, create a profile to get started. All fields with an asterisk are required. Those without an asterisk simply help us later in the contracting process if your project is awarded. The other contact email line is a good place to include a fellow staff member, a consultant, or perhaps a project partner. And create your profile. From here, click Get Started. And here you will see the two required sections of the application. Section 1, your project description. Section 2, your budget. Action is required on both of these. The Submit button is not yet available until each of these sections are complete. Start with Open. And at any time here, you're able to hit Save Draft. And if you hit Mark Complete before you're done, there'll be a variety of required fields that are probably not filled out. And so you'll need to make sure that each of those are completed before the system will allow you to move forward. So just start with the basics: a title, a start date, an end date, federal funds requested, you'll see a variety of boxes where you can select more than one options from a list. Again, this is sections of the statewide non-point source plan that you will be implementing. So you can click on more than one of those if you are doing a variety of different types of BMPs. The statewide non-point source plan is linked here on the application if you have any questions about that. The grant guidelines are linked in a variety of places throughout the application and are always your go-to place for information on what is requested in each of these sections. Again, select if you're implementing a 9-element watershed-based plan or an alternative plan in summary. Provide the information about those in either a link to an online copy, or you can select a file. And these select a file boxes throughout the application, the Grant Administration Portal will accept a variety of types of documents: Word, PDF, text files, all of the above. So you can certainly just select those from your computer and have them uploaded, and you'll see those file names here in this gray box. And just answer yes or no questions. Again, refer to the grant guidelines for the specifics that we're looking for under goals and background, tasks and activities. This is a section that a lot of folks like to refer to the grant guidelines where we're talking about the difference between a task, a deliverable, and measures of success. always refer back to what we're looking for here. There are a few little hints below the box, but the grant guidelines provide much more detailed information. Again, here, if you have a letter of commitment from a partner organization, you can click yes. And again, you can select a file. Again, a variety of file types are accepted here, so you can certainly just upload those. The same, you just go through location. A map is required here. You are able to use, again, a PDF file or image files are accepted as well. The watershed information, a lot of this is available on the Georgia EPD website in a variety of different places. And again, the grant guidelines will direct you to where to find this information if you are not already familiar with it. If the project is going to be located in more than one watershed and you hit yes to this question, more drop-downs will come in order to include the information for more than one watershed. And there's a variety of drop-downs as well as information to type in. Under the non-point source pollution impairments in healthy waters, we've tried to make it a little easier by having this information in drop-downs where you are just able to click and select what you're looking for. And again, you can add an additional reach if you have more than one for your project. And if you hit yes, additional drop-downs will come. If it's no, you'll just move on to the next section. The project schedule and attachments. This is the only area of the application where you have to have a specific file type. And that is because on our website, you will find the template for the project schedule, and it is an Excel file. So you will need to download that from the Georgia EPD website. Here's a link to do so right here within the application. And this box will only accept an Excel file. You are also able to add other attachments, anything that you think would support your application beyond the required attachments that you've already done in other sections of the application. These are not required, but you will see as spaces to do so if you have those. At the end, there are project acknowledgements. All applicants are required to attest that all proposed activities represent tasks above and beyond any NPDES permit requirements, and that you have read and followed the grant guidelines documents in its entirety. We ask you to do this to make sure that you know what we're looking for and why we're doing the tasks and activities that we have here. So click mark complete. And again, on this main screen here, you'll see that this section is complete and you can move on to application section 2, which is the budget. Here again, all of the fields in the budget are required. And these are numeric fields and the sections where we're asking for grant funds as well as non-federal matching funds. And you'll see that for each budget category, they will auto total here. We do require a description and narrative so that we know exactly where these funds are going. Again, the grant guidelines give some good examples of the types of information that we're looking for each description and narrative justification box. And once you get towards the end, you will see at the bottom, there will be a project total that shows up here. So you can check and make sure that your budget in this total field matches the total amount that you put here. Another helpful bit within the grant administration portal is this automatic percentage calculator. This will show you that the way that I've currently entered this budget, I am not meeting the maximum 60% of funds or the minimum non-federal matching funds. This percentage, again, is total. That might be that perhaps your whole budget needs to be adjusted, or perhaps in my case, I just made a data entry error and it will, again, adjust. I'm not quite there. So it looks like I need to do a little bit more work on my budget and see that it doesn't quite match up to what I had asked for in application section 1. So you can just simply go and adjust that as needed to get your totals where you need them. Again, there are budget attestations. Again, you can see I finally got my budget back in the right place so that we have a minimum of 40% non-federal match and a maximum of 60% grant funds. Here, the attestations simply state that all match contributions are from non-federal sources and do not overlap any current or future projects, and that you will comply with 2 CFR 200 uniform guidance for acceptable cost expenses for federal programs. Again, the grant guidelines include more information about that. You can hit mark complete or save as a draft if you need to go back and check. But once those 2 sections are complete, they'll say so here. And once that is done, you will see the submit button at the top turn green. Before April 30th, you are able to edit this. You are able to hit submit until April 30th. After that time, you will need to contact Georgia EPD in order to make any edits to your application. When you hit submit, the system will tell you this has been submitted. When you return to your main profile page, you will see that the application has been submitted. You will also receive an email at the email address in your profile, as well as to the other email, any other emails that you might have included in your profile. Will receive an email that says this has been submitted. You're able to view what you submitted, but if you recognize an error, you will need to contact Georgia EPD in order to make any changes prior to the April 30th deadline. If you are in a position where you would like to submit more than one project for consideration, we do allow applicants to submit more than one project per fiscal year. So simply hit add another and go through the same application section 1, project description, application section 2, budget. So again, from your main profile page, you can see that this application is in process and this one has been submitted. You can log out and look forward to hearing from Georgia EPD about your application at a future date this summer. Thank you again for your interest, and please contact the Georgia EPD Grants Unit if you have any questions about the Grant Administration Portal or the Section 319H grant in general.